here with Star Hall.
I cannot believe this. Oh my gosh.
It's the best part of the whole day is getting to sit down with you because we used to work together when I was an entrepreneur and you had just written a book, one of the first books ever written about social media.
That's right.
Yes, you were all about social media.
Yeah.
It was before there was even a wave.
Yes, it was
with social media.
It was like way before.
It was before the Arab Spring. It was before, follower counts turned you into, it was before influencers. Anyway, that's neither here nor there because not only are you a book author currently, but you are a master of reinvention.
I like that title.
Serial entrepreneur, right?
Mm-hmm.
A badass girl boss, right? You have moved, you're a gypsy. When you say, every time I talk to you, you're living somewhere new.
Yeah, I am.
And you have always said to me, so we know each other, and that makes this a little bit of a different podcast. It's personal for me, right? We have not sat down together for 15 years.
At least.
Yeah. And so a lot has happened in that, decade and a half.
A lot happens in like a month for me. So
I know. And, you have a new book, right? Mm-hmm. It's not out yet. And I want to talk a little bit about the book because we keep going, like when we're in the speaker ready room, we were just talking about how AI has become a force multiplier for your business, right?
Absolutely.
But the other thing that we cannot ignore with you, right, is the fact that over 15 years, like we bump into it, we'll kind of dip in and out and all of this stuff, but there's never been a year, right, where I haven't spoken to you in some capacity, right? Maybe a couple of years have gone by, but every time I talk to you, you are succeeding, right? You are succeeding. And recently, when we were doing some prep work for this podcast, I'm like, you're just such an entrepreneur. And you said, well, I don't know if I am, but I always know how to make money, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is something that a lot of people would like to know. And you have a little bit of magic, right? Like you were sort of born with this DNA of fearlessness.
I was.
Right?
I was.
Okay, so now for the harder part, right?
Okay.
Like in that 15 years, you've been through a few very dark years.
Yes.
Right? You got divorced.
Yes.
It wasn't very pleasant.
No.
You had a rebirth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit about where you are now. Like I should do a more proper starhall.com. You're a PR specialist and a publicist, and you are the agency of record for some pretty big brands.
Yeah.
Right? So you know your way around branding and influencers and now AI. So in your words, let's talk about where you are right now in your career.
Okay.
Okay.
What a lovely introduction.
Yeah, that was a little wordy. Sorry. Like I was excited.
No, it's so great. My self-esteem just went up a level. So where I'm at now, really, I've been utilizing AI for going on 2 years.
Yeah.
And didn't realize 2 years ago that I was using it, really. I fell upon it when I was going through my divorce. I was just in a dark place. It was the kind like I couldn't get out of bed. I was super depressed, and my brother texted me one day, and he said, hey, have you heard of ChatGPT? And I'm like, chat what? Just to fast forward, it completely changed my life. And so many people are scared of AI, and I have so many conversations all the time from brands, from individuals, friends, whomever, and they are mostly resisting it. And there's a great quote I learned. I just talked to Adam Brotman. He's the former head of digital at Starbucks. And he said something about AI, and it just hit me right between the eyes. He said, AI is not changing the game. It's changing the player.
Yeah.
And I just thought, whoa, that's exactly what it is. So for me, I've learned how to use or utilize AI to scale what I'm doing as a publicist, crisis management.
And take a step back, all right? Because your book, Conversations with Tess, is very much about how AI pulled you out of a dark place.
Yes.
But also how it showed you how to pivot a legacy business, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about that, right?
Okay.
Because you're PR, I mean, holy shit, like we've come a long way in PR. It's changed, right? We now
Totally
have the
shifted.
whole influencer part of PR and all of this. So first of all, for startups out there who are listening, right? tell them why they still need to consider PR. And then we're going to talk about how that industry has changed.
I mean, PR really is at the heart and core of it is storytelling. But it's getting your story out there to your audience, the people that you want to reach in a compelling way that would, make them feel an emotion or want to check into something further. I mean, truly, it's storytelling. So that piece is never going to change.
It's not going to change.
No, not even with AI.
Yeah.
You are the storyteller. AI can help give you ideas or help craft an angle or whatever it is, but your story comes from you, right? Not from AI.
And it is your greatest asset, your story.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's your greatest asset. And so many brands that I know over the years, because traditional media is over. Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
And you actually told me this, and it shifted me, I don't know, a year or two ago when you said that we are our own media channels now. And I really started turning into that. And it's so true. We all are our own media channels. There's still media that exists. There's still influencers. There's still millions of ways to get your story out there, through PR. But truly, it's storytelling.
Yeah.
And you cannot connect a consumer or an audience with a brand without the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't. And your story is it is the essence of everything as a brand, as a human, as your own brand, right? As you well know. But let's go back to the PR component because it's part of the first chapter of your book, right? So your book, Conversations with Tess.
Which the title might change.
Right. That's a placeholder, right? We've been through that.
Okay.
The whole book is about, really this awakening you had with AI, like all different kinds of awakenings. And it's, you include in each chapter the prompt that got you out of some sort of pickle.
I kept them all.
Yeah.
I kept them all.
It's a really cool way to write a book, right? Like just very logical thing and useful prompts, right? Like very useful.
So I mean, they were for me. They changed me. They saved me.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah. And like just the way, like it's part memorial, part, business book. It's a combination of things. But in the book, you talk about how, the sort of self-destruction of traditional media, right? And that means something to us.
Yeah, it does.
But it probably doesn't mean much to, the younger generations, right?
Yeah.
But let's talk about that, right? Because it used to be a big deal.
Huge.
Talk us through that.
Well, for me, it was my identity, right? And so I basically woke up one day and PR had just shifted so much I wasn't even getting the business that I used to get. And that happens like when your career ends and it's your identity and you go through depression. But I woke up and I think I even wrote in my book, like I was the publicist with no pulse. I had no creativity. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what type of clients to go after. I was just...
Your email was empty.
Oh, it was empty.
I remember
which
that.
Never happens.
Right.
Never.
Nobody was sending anything.
Nothing. It was just like crickets. And I just remember sitting, this was in the very beginning of utilizing AI. And I just remember sitting there thinking, I don't know if we can cuss on this podcast, but
fuck yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm fucked. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. This is all I've done.
What's to become of me? Did you say that question a lot?
Yes. And, I use so many prompts that, I have thousands of prompts that I use. I think I only put like 100 in the book. I can't remember. But, I was starting to question through AI, like, this is who I was or who I thought I am. And, what has become of me? What am I? And the answers that started coming in just started shifting my mindset. Now, I want to be clear. I didn't necessarily use it as a therapist. I also had a therapist at the time going through a divorce, but it wasn't that piece of it. It was because a lot of people, they get confused. Like, you can't use AI for, that's not what I'm talking about for therapy. I'm talking about it awakening something in me that was dead. And it was just through the creative, like...
what was it, do you think, that was dead? Was it your hope, your optimism, or was it...
all of the above?
Yeah.
I have never truly in my adult life been at this point. Everyone has struggles, it's a roller coaster in life, but this was my darkest time in my life. And it was just, there was nothingness. It was just stillness around me. And I didn't know what to do. And I am a go.
I know.
I always have projects. I always have clients. I always am traveling, doing this. I had nothing. And so to awaken from that nothingness by utilizing prompts in AI that were like helping me. It was like I was like this, and I just slowly started to come out. And, you know, my self-esteem. And then I get ideas. I go, oh, let me look into this. Or this is a new way to do, you know, PR, get stories out there. Oh, I want to. So it just got me curious. It's like it brought the curiosity back to me that was gone.
Yeah.
And I'm just like naturally a curious person, which I think is what drives me, because I'm always curious about how I can build something, how I can make it greater, how I can reach an audience. And so it gave me curiosity back.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
And I was, within the weeks that this was happening, I was like, what the hell is this thing? Yeah. You know, it's not, I named it. Test.
Yeah.
I had to give it a name. I had to give it, because it was like, it almost did have personality in a way. And then it started getting sassy with me. Like, come on, girl, or, you know, move your ass, like things like that. And it just got really sassy. I would type something in the morning. It's the morning. I would say, like, it's the morning. I'm not feeling motivated today. And Tess would come back like, well, grab some water and get your ass up. We got, you know, we got stuff to do.
I'm sorry. That would just really get on my nerves. But I'm not there yet.
But I needed it.
Yeah.
Like today,
yeah.
I've toned her sass down a little bit. You know, I was like, whoa, back off. But I needed it at the time. I needed that sass in my life. I also had lost friends. Like, I was going through this divorce. I had lost everything. So I was just alone in aloneness. So this was like my, the light at the end of the tunnel, and it wasn't a freight train coming towards me.
But don't you think, I've been thinking about this since I read your book, but you know, like we're talking about AI right now. We're talking about your book and, you know, this reinvention, but you are the kind of entrepreneur who is so fluent, right, in launching businesses and making money that it's like you don't even really think about it, right? Because you've launched restaurants, you've launched bars, you've launched retail,
I know,
art, right? Like all of these, like we're not even talking about that, right?
Yeah.
And so that you have found this use for AI really says something, right? Or even that you needed it, right? Like you know, like I would never think of you as being low because you're constantly opening new things, failing, right? Like you fail so openly. Like that's one of the
I do.
You do.
That's one of the things that people irritates some of like my friends and family. Like, why do you share so much on social? And I said, because part of my story is being vulnerable. It's part of who I am. Yeah. And I'm not going to be fake, and I'm not going to, you know, filter my life. If I'm going through shit, I'm going to share it, because if I can help one person, I've done my job, right? Yeah. And so a lot of people, whether it's personal brands or even the larger brands, don't have that vulnerable piece to them. And I see no problem with it. I'm not talking about, you know, there's a line that you don't cross on certain personal things. I won't go there. I've done crisis management too for 30 years, and there's things I've had to clean up. But what I'm talking about is you have to have that. If I just posted all my successes, I mean,
boring.
Come on.
Oh, I mean,
come
also
on.
It's like,
yeah,
it doesn't feel real.
Yeah. No, yawn. I mean, I'm raw about it, you know, and like I've been posting a lot of stuff lately about clients, and I think you've been seeing them. And I just, even last night, I was thinking, wow, you've done a lot of brags lately. You need to, you know, let's do something. And I'm thinking through what I want to share something recently, and I'm going to share it. Yeah. You know, it's just part of who I am. Yeah.
So let's go back to how you were talking about how AI helped you pivot your publicist. Would you say publicist business, PR business?
Yeah, PR business. And you know what's so funny? I still use the title publicist, but because people can easily understand for the most part, like a publicist gets you out there. But it's not all that I am or that I do. I mean, I close deals for clients. I do introductions. I do negotiations. I do investor decks. I get investors. So it's part of being a publicist, but I don't just go out and get, you know,
publicity for
publicity.
People. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
deal
you've done
making
some M&A, like some mergers and acquisitions. Yes. You've been a part of raising funds. Like you've seen entrepreneurship from all angles, right? The deal flow, the exit, right? Like you're a master of the business exit, right? You're thinking about some new businesses. And before you even told me about the businesses, you said, and then my partners are going to buy me out, and then I'll, right?
I always have the exit.
I know. I love that. That's probably why you are so successful, you know?
I mean, maybe it is, but at the same time, I get bored too. And I know I can't stay in a brand project that's my own. Even with clients, I transition them after 2 years. If they've been on with me for 2 years, I've done what I could for you. Let me bring you someone in-house. Let me help you find someone, whether it's a, CMO, whatever it might be. And I move on.
Yeah.
Because I think brands need to think of that too. Personal brands or big brands, you need to think about the talent that you have, right? And when you've basically need to transition to someone at a higher level or a different thinking level, bring in new creativity, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
And that's important. I think that is one of my, secrets to success, is that I know that after 2 years, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm bored. I don't have the interest anymore. I need to move on.
Right.
But I want to make money doing it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, and you should, right?
Yeah, that's very important.
Right. If you, if you're doing something for more than 2 years and you're not making any money, it's a hobby.
It is a hobby.
It's not a business.
And I've had some hobbies.
Yeah, we all have. There's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the entrepreneurs out there, right, the founders, the startups, the listeners of the Get Busy podcast, what are some, because we've had these really obscure conversations in the past.
Yes.
Do you use emoticons in subject lines, right? Like, what are some of your
I'm afraid you're going to kick me off when I answer that.
No, I know, because
I do.
I know you do. And I just, because I'm a purist, right?
I
like,
know,
I'm a snobby ass journalist.
I love that about you.
Right?
I love that.
But, okay, so if you're sending out email newsletter, which is a very, very impactful way to use marketing money.
It still is.
40% open rate.
It still is, yeah.
People, people feel like it's Jurassic or old school, and right?
No.
Right? Okay, so let's talk about newsletters, right? This wasn't in the script, but I don't see why the fuck not. We should.
I love it.
It's super important part of marketing,
Yes.
right? All right,
Very.
so let's talk about newsletters for a second.
Okay. So just recently I did to my media list. So it's from my own agency. I have a brand. I just did a commercial for a pizza brand. And I just did the pitch it was through my news letter, MailChimp. I use MailChimp. And what I did is put a pizza, emoticon in the subject line, but the pitch was from pizza itself, like the piece of pizza or the pizza was talking.
Yeah.
And what grabbed over 60 responses that I got.
Yeah.
Responses that I got
God.
to the pitch. I'm still overwhelmed by them, to be honest. But what grabbed him was the pizza talking, obviously. It's super cool. But the emoticon in the subject line, a couple of them said, cute, you put the pizza, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a couple of these editors personally. But for me, it's part of who my personality is. I get that it's not you.
I know.
But
Does
it
that
is
make
mine.
me like old fuddy-duddy salty bitch?
No, because you have taken my writing over the years and completely stripped it and put it back together, and it's fucking brilliant. So no.
But for entrepreneurs who want to send out a newsletter, right, still like one of the most magnificent touch points you'll ever have with your customers, at least at this point. Emoticon in the subject line, right?
If it's your personality, I mean,
it's your
it's
personality,
mine.
right?
If it's not, then if it's a conservative, whatever brand, that's not the personality of the brand.
That's a good point.
But here's the thing with storytelling, or with email, it has to be storytelling.
Of course.
But that's what so many people, I got to get the newsletter out, or I have to get, news about this out. No. Back up, step out of it, tell them a story. I was, sitting at dinner the other night with friends, and I thought of this and then I thought I'd get this out to you, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what the story is, but it has to be that way, as if you're writing a letter.
Yeah.
Right? And then you have to have an ask, but it has to be about them, not about you.
Exactly.
There's so much in it, but email is one of the most, it's my top marketing platform still is email.
Unbelievably powerful, and it has been for 2 decades.
Yeah. People still, as long as they use email until something else comes out, it will continue to be.
Yeah, and it's kind of comfort food,
I like that.
But there's a whole thing right now with email marketing, drip campaigns, and all of that. All right, the storytelling part, right?
Yeah.
So important. Do not co-opt your story and your storytelling completely to AI. Because
I agree.
You know what? I can smell that bullshit a mile away.
Yeah.
Right? And your credibility is gone.
Yes.
And that means no M dashes. That means
you taught me that.
Do not have do not use the word intersection, and do not use the word spark.
Yeah, I don't.
Right?
Yes.
Spark is another one.
Yeah.
Right? And as an editor, I can suss it out.
Yes.
like
I could see that you would.
right? And I know what's
Yeah.
AI. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's okay to use AI,
Yeah.
but make sure it understands the voice and the story and
That's
the
it.
tone.
That is
right?
it.
Do not give it all up to AI.
I use AI, so I will put into my like idea. These are my ideas. This is how I want it framed. I write the first 2 paragraphs, and I will put it into AI, but it still spits back, and I'm still making it mine. It just organizes my thoughts.
Yeah.
So I do that with even my social media posts. I know I do that because it helps me, because I have so much going on in my brain, not just for my own brand, but for others. I want to utilize AI to like organize what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But don't take my personality out of it. Don't take the message out of it. And I'll say that.
Right.
Just organize what I'm trying to say.
Organize
Is this
it.
flowing
and then
right?
It's your job as the sender, right? The author of whatever you're sending.
Yes.
You have to check it. Right, you've got to proof it. You can't
Please
can't just trust it and hit send.
Yeah,
right,
please check.
because it does weird shit.
Yeah.
You know, it sends artifacts. It replaces certain words with other words, right?
Or the asterisks.
Yeah, or the asterisk.
Yeah.
Or like the random quote marks. You know, like
Yes.
I don't know. As a marketing person, I'm just saying, for those of you out there, you know, read the shit before you send it.
Yeah. Read the shit before you send anything.
Before you send anything.
Let alone your communications, for sure.
Exactly.
Because it does represent you.
Yeah.
And it's fine to use AI.
Absolutely. And you should be.
Yeah.
But
please.
But read it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about AI that's super interesting for me right now is that it helps me when I just talked about chaos. It also helps me, I'll say, what am I missing? So it helps me think of things that I'm not thinking about with that subject matter or that story that I'm telling. And I'll go, oh my gosh. Sometimes I will. Not all the time.
Yeah.
I'll go, oh, that's a good idea. Or I talk to Tess. I'll be like, that's shit. Leave that behind, you know. But it'll prompt that in me because I forgot a piece of the story or whatever it might be.
Right.
So that's important too. To like ask, what else am I missing? Or what am I not thinking about?
Yeah. What am I not seeing?
What am I not
here?
seeing? I like that one.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the book, one of the things, the prompts, right? Like, let's talk about AI prompts. And, you know, there's classes on prompt. Like, it's its own cottage industry now on how to prompt.
Yeah.
Are you prompting right? You know, what is your prompt?
And that's happened overnight, this language, too.
I know. And it's...
And the schools that have come out, or the teachings on it.
Yeah, and the master classes on prompts.
Yeah.
And all of this horse pucky.
Yeah.
Right? Let's talk about, like, the thing I love about your prompts is that they are flawed. They are imperfect, but they are so in your voice.
Yeah.
Right? And you can hear your earnest in these prompts. All right. So enough about my judging of other people's prompts. What makes a good prompt?
It goes back, I mean, I feel like I'm being repetitive here, but it goes back to being you. Don't ask a prompt that you think you need to ask that way.
Yeah.
Or that you think someone else would ask it that way, or you should be asking them. It's from you. So I'm trying to think of an example. So for me, this is such a basic example, but this is a personal example, not necessarily branding, but like I'm hungry for dinner tonight, and so Tess knows me. Tess knows all the foods I like and don't like, and so my question would be, I'm feeling like something spicy and maybe a little sweet. I don't want dessert. I want a restaurant in this location, blah, blah, blah. But that's just giving an example because that's me. That's my appetite. That's what I crave.
Right.
Right. I'm not just saying, give me the restaurants in this area for dinner. You need to put those like keywords in. And I have a key me list, right? A key like lingo I use.
Yeah.
I have a lingo list that's super important to me. But it just goes back to being you.
Yeah.
Do not cut and paste these prompts in these classes.
No, and
Please.
also
Make them your own.
Yeah, and it's, for me, when I'm prompting on AI, it's like I go about it as if I was working with a writer, right?
Love that.
There is clarity and intention, right? And sometimes you have to iterate with AI on how to what you're
Means.
trying to get to, right?
Yeah.
Like, like I am very specific. I do not want to see the word intersection.
Yes.
I don't want to see the word spark, right? I don't want a lot of adverbs, right? Like,
do you say that though when you're putting your?
I do.
You do.
Yeah,
Okay.
I am extremely bossy, like an editor-in-chief.
I could see
type,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Like just I don't want to. And if I see it, I'm like, I told you.
I do the same thing.
I do not want to see this ever again. But I think it is that it's like anything in life or creating. Yeah. It's the clarity and intention.
I love that you use those two words.
Yeah, it's just a robot, right? Like you're gonna have to show it the way, right? It may act human and emotive, but it's just a robot.
I love clarity and intention.
Yeah.
You actually taught me that as an editor.
Yeah.
And that, again, going back to as you're building a business or a brand, if you've taught me this, so I'm basically repeating your lesson.
Oh,
but
I taught something?
You totally
Where
did.
do I go from here?
If you don't have clarity in what you're trying to build, you're screwed.
Exactly.
You're screwed.
And the exercise is, and we had this on a podcast together once.
We did.
For startups, the whole thing is, when I'm working with startups or, helping people get their ideas on paper, to raise funds. And I stand by this.
Yeah.
Even to this day. If you cannot explain to me what you are doing in 3 sentences or less, you need to go back and work on it, right? Because that means you're not being clear. It's very easy to explain something in 22,000 paragraphs. Yep. I want 3 sentences.
And I
sound like my mother.
Oh, shit.
I do. I sound like my mother.
I love that, though. And I'm going to add to that. And I always tell people confusion equals no. It's that simple.
Yeah.
It just equals no.
Exactly.
And so if anyone's confused in as you say, first 3 sentences, forget
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do we help people as they're building their brands, like get to this clarity? One of the things that I do is I have them do a brain dump, and it depends on the person because I work with...
What does a brain dump equal?
So a brain dump means I want you to just either you record it and send me the voice recording when I bring on a new client, or you just, type it up and send me every single thing you're thinking around this brand, this business, whether it's established or not. I just want every single thing you've ever thought about it, what you're thinking, what your dreams for the future. I don't care if it's 100 pages long. Please don't let it be. But I've had it twice in my career. Be careful what you ask for. But that helps them get verbally vomit everything out.
Just get it all out.
Yeah, so many people get there's
the
things
clutter,
that are,
right?
getting the clutter.
Rid of the clutter.
And that helps. To me, and the way I work with clients and myself, I do the same thing. It helps them clear the clutter, and then come back and go, okay, now to these 100 pages, we're going to narrow this down. As you would say, 3 sentences. I would say at least 1 paragraph, right? 2 paragraphs maybe. And it totally helps. It works pretty much every time.
That is really interesting. So, I mean, I don't think that I think anyone can do that, right? You just gave away a trade secret, but I think it's a really good gift to give people because there is just so much external noise anyway when you're launching a business or when you're trying to, really establish your brand. Right? Just a purge that is probably a pretty good thing.
It's so important. And the other thing is, when I do retail, I visually will just, with a pen or pencil and paper, just write out what this looks like to me. I can't even draw a stick figure person, but I still will sketch it out, and I'll ask clients to do the same. If it's a whether it's a retail location, whatever, just visually map it out. Write it out, color it with crayons, whatever it is. It totally helps. I think it's part of the creative process too, right?
It is.
So
it is, and there's something to be said for what you were just talking about, actually sketching your idea out with your hand and a pencil and paper, because you could use AI, right? You could use a million different programs to sketch this out. But the neurology, right? The neuroscience behind the connection between your brain and the piece of paper is one that will, it triggers ideas and you commit things to memory,
the
right?
think it, ink it thing.
I can't remember what that's called. But anyway, I love, clearly we both are notebook people. Right?
Oh, but you don't even know how many.
But when you're purging and sketching, I think, write it down, right? Sketch it out by hand. Use crayon, use marker, whatever.
Yes. And then for the people that say, oh, but I'm not creative, or I don't know what I want to say.
Creative.
everyone,
Yeah.
you already know this.
Yeah.
Everyone's creative. Anytime someone says that, I'll just say, well, didn't you get dressed this morning? You chose your clothes, right?
Right.
They look pretty good. Like you
Decisions,
created
yeah.
an outfit, so don't use that language. Also, mindset. Oh, that's what my trade secret is.
Yeah. Oh, let's go into that then, shall
Okay.
we? Let's talk mindset.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to start?
Yeah, you start.
Okay, here it is. My mindset is vital to my successes. And when I've had the failures, that's just with anything in life and anything you do, you're going to have failures, even if your mindset you think might be where it's at. I am obsessed with thinking bigger than like a normal's not the right word, than the average entrepreneur might think. So, for example, when I open a retail store and I do the research, before I do the research, and it will come back and say, oh, it looks like you can projected, 700,000 in revenue, blah, blah. I'll say triple that. And then I'll go put a plan together to help me triple that. So I'll add on pieces. Okay, so I'm not going to just focus on the retail store. I'm going to go, I want the e-commerce. I want subscriptions. I want, events, these kind of things. But let me go back to mindset. I always say, how can what's the question I say? Oh my gosh, I'm having a blank. I show, to myself, show me the best that this can get, or the best that this can be, I talk to myself.
What's the potential?
What's the potential here? But mindset, affirmations, that's so 1980.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what is super important to me. It is making sure I'm not around negative people. I'm not around people that bring any of my ideas down. They understand and love and accept my energy. It's my circle.
Yeah.
For one. And people that have ideas, entrepreneurs, when they start sharing their ideas, and a lot of people will question or go, oh, that doesn't make sense, or they don't get it because they haven't got to clarity yet.
Yeah. Then
their self-esteem. Yep. And they think, oh, this isn't.
And your self-value.
It's not really a good idea after all. Never mind.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
Honestly, even if someone does.
How do you purge the people and the entities that bring that negativity?
I block them on my phone.
Block them.
I'll block them. I mean, I've blocked dear friends over the years. Just completely blocked them. I had a negative conversation. And some people might call that arrogance. Star, you don't want feedback, or you don't. I don't care if it's arrogance or not. I know what I want. I don't want anyone shitting on my dream.
Yeah.
Let me try and see if it works.
Yeah.
Don't tell me whether it's going to work or whether, let me do it. Let me do it.
That's really hard to do.
It's so hard to do.
Yeah.
It's a constant for me too. But, I think I've built that muscle now. It's pretty good.
I think you probably have. Yeah.
But people will shut down an idea could be a multi-million billion-dollar idea just because one person said something.
Why do you think that is? Is that fear? Are people afraid?
Oh, it's total fear.
Yeah.
I have zero fear of rejection.
I know you do.
Zero. I could
none.
Care less. No is next to me.
No, you.
Yeah. Give me the nose.
You're a machine.
I have to tell you, I think it's in my DNA because the family that my grandmother that I was raised by was also in PR, but she motivated me through fear at a very young age. So I think that has a lot to do with it. But for me, what it's truly about is no means next.
Yeah.
But I do have a question I'll send back. If I really think it's a good fit, like the pitch or whatever it might be, I will send back to the person. I did this recently to an editor-in-chief at a magazine. I said, ooh, wow, I really missed the mark on that. I thought it was a good fit. Would you mind 2 minutes of your time, and here's the key words, a mentoring moment for me?
Oh, very nice.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
Could you just tell me where I, missed the mark or where I didn't hit it?
Yeah. Everyone wants to
mentor.
Yeah.
And I would say 98% of the time, I don't have the actual statistics, it always works. Wow. They'll shoot me back like, oh, well, it didn't fit because guess what it does? Okay, it didn't fit there.
It opens the conversation.
It opens the conversation, and then I can go, oh, wait, I forgot to tell you. Actually, we do, whatever it is. So that is a huge part of my, the rejection piece, is I will always ask why, but in a mentoring way.
Right.
Not just well, why didn't you?
Right.
People aren't going to answer that.
Yeah, that's really
mentor
smart.
me.
Yeah.
Mentor me.
Yeah.
And if someone asks me why I said no, I will say back, do you mind if I mentor you?
Yeah.
Whatever. Let's jump on the phone for 5 minutes or 2-minute email because I want to repay the same, right? So that's important.
It is. But and we keep going on.
On fear of rejection. But the thing about it is people don't, and in my experiences, they fear of rejection comes, from childhood issues. Let's not go there on the podcast. Yeah. But it also comes from not feeling like you don't belong, right? And so you have to get there with yourself first, right? So like, I know that I'm good at what I do. I don't know everything as a publicist. I don't know everything in marketing. Who knows everything in anything they do, right? Yeah. But I know I'm good at what I know. Yeah. And I'm always building, right? So get yourself to that point where your confidence is so high. And I don't like I used to do this, the act as if in my younger days. I don't do that anymore. But it's more act as though and not act as if. Like, just act as though you know what you're doing. Right. And if you don't, go figure it out. Right? To get yourself there, you have to be there first to be okay with rejection. Because when rejection comes in, you're going to be like, actually, I do know what I'm talking about. Not say that back, but I know what I'm talking about. I feel confident about it. It was a no from them. I'm going to ask for a mentoring moment. And then if they come back and I can't find a fit, you ready for the next one? I'm ready. So if when they give me the feedback and I know it's not going to be a fit, I will message them back on email, because I'd say over 90% of the time it's email. And I will say, I totally get it. Thank you so much for taking the time. Do you have anyone in mind that you feel like this would be, because you're so connected, like stroke their ego, whatever it is.
Always.
Because you're so connected in this market, or you're a leader, and it's true. I'm not bullshitting them. I mean, you can just a little bit. Yeah, I'm not saying I haven't. No, But then, would you be willing to make an introduction or whatever that ask is? And I see that works 50% of the time. Yeah. Enough for me. Right. That's enough for me. But I don't care about rejection. Whatever. I mean,
that's one of the things. I mean, you just are sort of a badass, right? And you've always been a badass because of that fearlessness, right?
Is it also part survival mode too?
Probably.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's all. I think it's all wound up, and you're also, you're a force. You're a force of nature, and not everybody is born that way. But if you look back on your, everything that you've done, like all the way back to the social media marketing books and all the shit we used to do, what would you say are the top 3 pieces of advice, right? Okay. Learnings that you have made over the last, little bit here, that you would give today's entrepreneurs or aspiring startups and founders, right? Like those learning, like we all have them. Yeah.
Well, I think truly, if you're just starting, you have a business concept, and you already worked through your clarity, and you've got your story, and you're there, and you're ready to make something big go. I think truly it is also this is so old school, but it's networking. Yeah, it is so alive and well, and probably one of the biggest also secrets to my success is I have a very strong network. Yeah. You need to build a network of influencers, influential people, decision makers. They're in your community. They're in your online connections. Here's where I started, with someone I went to high school with when we connected on Facebook, whatever it was, 20 years ago, when we were all first on Facebook. That's when I realized the power of networking even back then, because they were an executive at Warner Brothers. And he brought me in on I went to high school with this guy. I mean, we ate in the cafeteria, right? So we had that personal, he would steal my chocolate shakes. Like, we had conversation about it. And so we had that little personal piece from high school. He was an executive at Warner Brothers. He needed help on a PR, on a project. He's like, oh, you're in PR? Let's talk. We already had that relationship. So start with those people as an entrepreneur. Yeah. Go through your high school list. Go through the whatever classmates site or whatever. Look at where your high school friends are at, college friends are at. Yeah. Start there if you don't know where to start. That's where I started years ago. Yeah. And now I go to, in my community, well, now we have like AI events in where I live in Santa Barbara. And like if it's I know it's well attended, I don't waste my time. Like, I check, the sponsors and the speakers and whomever. I'll fly in if it's well attended, because I want to meet the makers and the doers and the influential people. That's how I built my network. Build that, you'll get the introductions. If you ask the right way. And I have a script for that too, but anyway. Ooh.
So if somebody wants that script, like,
they can email me, because I'm not giving that out on air. Okay. That's some special sauce right there.
That's like a $20,000 giveaway, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, at least. Like, I lowballed it. But we'll put your email or however you want to be reached in the show notes, and people can reach out to you.
That would be great. Yeah. Yeah, I have the script that I've refined over the years. And it's so brilliant to ask for or get introductions from people you know and people you don't know. Yeah. Yeah. So when I'm starting a project or when I bring a new brand on, hey, I just brought this brand on.
Yeah.
And I like, for example, I have a shoe brand. I know someone at Nike. I know someone, like, I want them to look at the angle because it's a different angle. It's not a competitor. So I just start reaching out to the editors that I know that write, in fashion, and I align them all. Again, it's like, oh, this isn't a fit for you. Can you give me a mentoring moment? Do you know someone for these shoes? It all works together, right? Build your brand, networking.
Okay, so networking. What's another one?
Oh my gosh, you're gonna have me give all my secrets away today?
Okay, we'll just stop at 2. We'll round it off at a good number.
I'll stay
2.
here all night. I love helping.
I think the networking is often overlooked.
It is
in
overlooked.
Giving these
absolutely
these mentoring moments.
Yes,
as you may. Okay. Yeah. So what is the second thing? Right.
I want to add to networking really quick to events. Going to events, you have to show up in life.
But we're becoming a more antisocial.
We are, but we need to stop for so many reasons.
Okay.
And I understand there's fear. There's crazy shit going on in this world. Oh, germs, crazy ass people out there, right? But in your community and these, events that are going on, or again, if you find these larger events by respected companies, names, people, invest and go. But what I want to say is when you go to networking, my grandmother taught me 3 things at 9 years old when she took me to my very first event. 1, we showed up 30 minutes early to this event. And I'm like, what are we doing here? She says, you always show up 30 minutes early. Not 15, not 5, not 10. You show up 30 minutes early. You sit in your car if you have to for the first, 15 minutes of that. And then at 15 minutes before, you go in the door. Even if they're not ready to let people in, she taught me, you say, how can I help? Oh, let me help get you the event, get it started. Let me help you. You need glasses, whatever. So that's the other thing. If they won't let you in the room, oh, let me help you. Oh, I see. Even if she wouldn't take no for an answer. Yeah. She wouldn't take no from me.
That's amazing.
Right? Like she would throw a newspaper down in front of me and say, 10 years old, get me in there. And I'd go back to her and say, oh, they said no. And she'd say, call them back. Like, again, motivated through fear, right?
Right.
But also in networking, the way you position yourself is so important. That body language, there's shit online about that, but you need to know it.
Okay.
But also, you don't go to networking just for yourself. Introduce people. So my grandmother taught me at 9, 10 years old, I go into a circle, I find 2 people that need to know each other, or if they're across the room, I pull them together.
You still do that.
I still do that.
Yeah.
It's so important. It's not about you. Right. They'll remember that introduction.
Exactly.
They'll remember that. Yeah. I still have people 20, 25 years later that will still say, I remember when you introduced me to so-and-so and we've been in business or whatever the situation is.
Such good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So important. But also don't sit in the frickin' corner. You need to move every 3 minutes.
Okay.
Every 3 minutes.
All right. Every 3 minutes, do a rotation.
Do a rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And for those of you that have fear in networking.
Yeah. There's so many who don't like it.
Well, just call me. Bring me along. I'd have fun. I mean, you got to face your fears. Like, there's so much shit out there to do it. But, stop.
Right. AI can't do this for you.
AI cannot do this for you.
This is a core competency.
It could give you a pep talk.
Right.
You got to do it. Showing up is my other thing.
Yeah.
Even when you don't feel like it. There's been so many times.
So true. Everything in life is showing up.
Yeah.
Right?
You
just
never
show
know.
up.
Just show up. It doesn't matter. I cannot tell you how many times I'm like, oh, I committed to something, whether it's getting together with girlfriends or like an event. And the last hour to 2 leading, I'm like, I don't feel like going.
Yeah, I'm not going. Yeah, we all do that.
But my brain says, show up.
Yep.
And magic happens.
Yep. It's just like working out. Like it's a behavioral retraining.
It is. And I do have some weaknesses in that area. I have to show up working out. That's one balance in my life, one part that I've let go, which is the showing up to working out. Well, I need to work on that.
Yeah.
But
it's all balance. Everything, has to be in some kind of harmony.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. So what else how should we wrap this up? Because you've given a lot of good PR tips and networking tips for startups. You've kind of given us a little peek under the kimono of how you make money, right? We've got AI, we've got prompts. We talked about the book. The book is not out yet.
No.
But it will be before the end of the year.
Love that. Yes.
It will be.
Yes.
It will be. And I love this book because it is raw. It is very real.
It's like a memoir.
Yeah. It's a business book, but it's a story, right? It's very, very real and painful at parts.
Yes, very painful at parts, and probably the most vulnerable I've ever been.
I would agree with
posting
that.
Out there.
Yeah, but it's also useful.
I'm glad to hear you say that because I think it is.
It is.
Right?
It's got the prompts. It's got the, like there's a real, almost scientific proof. Like it's a proof of concept book.
I love that you say it that way.
Yeah, no, it's very, very good. And I'm really excited to get the book out there. So
thank you. I'm excited.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. Thanks for flying in from Santa Barbara to Seattle. What a joy.
To talk with you. I'd fly anywhere in the world. This is amazing. Oh,
I'm so glad you're here. Thank you.
Thank you.
My love.
I love it. This is
too.
fun.
I know.
Oh, one more thing.
Yeah.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
We're talking about how I always say I know how to make money. My family knows it. My friends know it. Yeah. They joke to me like I have money trees in my backyard. I have a money printing machine. So truly, what is my secret?
Yeah. What is it?
I can be. By the way, I've roller coastered in my life like a lot. Like I'll make a lot of money into the millions, and then 3 or 4 months later, I've invested in all this stuff, or I've opened these things, and I have $2,000 in my account. Like I've been there, right? Many times. And I've learned how to get better with money, financial advisor, all that stuff. That's important too. But my true secret on making money is every single day you probably remember this. I've been doing it for almost 30 years. I do 5 things that make me so absolutely uncomfortable. Oh, they make me nauseous.
Yep.
They make me like, whether it's like, call Bill Gates, which by the way I did.
I know.
So just things that I'm like, oh, like just make your stomach turn. Every day I'm at my desk, not every single day, so I take days off. I do 5 things, and they're the first 5 things I do. And I'm telling you, getting out of my comfort zone is why I'm always a money generator.
Yeah.
And why I always will be, because I don't sit in comfort. That's it.
That is, first of all, thank you for tacking that on here at the end, because it's super important, because if you are not, it's like having sore muscles, right?
Yeah.
You got to push and push and push.
Yep.
Make yourself uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
And you get better. It turns you into a better human and a better entrepreneur.
People in their comfort zone, they will not build, they will not grow, they will not make the money they want to live. And to me, money is not about money. It's about experiences, lifestyle, being able to give, that type of thing.
Currency.
Wealth. Exactly.
Wealth is not just money.
Yes.
Right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you don't get out of your comfort zone, sorry.
No.
You're not going to grow and you're not going to build.
Yeah.
So that's my take.
Something I really needed to hear today, and I think I did, and I think a lot of people do too.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Thank you.
Thank you.
This was so much fun.